All right, time for some V Palm Springs. GIGI's Restaurant and Bar. We got some super custom letters attached to a long box with some push-through letters in it. So, and this whole operation mounts to some poles that are laid out. So we'll see how this all works out. Let's do some lay of the land real quick. Got some frame pieces, 090. Couple of jigs there, keeping out for this stuff here. We're going to be looking for holes all the way through all that. Got some power box parts here. Power tray, more like it. Not really a box. Got some skins. Got some backside skins there. Some other little skins. We'll be going over all this. And you got your front skins with studs. And your letters. So letters are going to have some push-throughs and some faces and some backers. So we'll go over all this. 1/4-inch mount points. Again, they're going to have 3/8 holes through it. Look for those. And the larger Cleco holes and some dog bones. Keep an eye out for these. You got 6 of these. These are the mounting plates. You get some 1/8-inch tough backers and some 1/2-inch pushies. So these go to the first shop, of course. All right, so we'll break it down. You got the cabinet, and then you have these letters that attach to the cabinet. So let's go over the cabinet first. It's a 1.5 by 3 channel. The way it's built is going to be similar to how we do things, but we haven't done this yet. So this is taking most of the methods that we do and just remixing it. So we'll kind of go over it. You can see where the parts are similar to what you know, except there is a definite back and there's a front. So the cabinet is asymmetrical, being that the back side is different than what's going on with the front. So I have it broken up into the front and the back. So you want to make sure when you assemble this, you have the B for back. That's not bottom. The B is for back. F is for face. So that's for the face side. So make sure you get the bottom to the bottom, top to the top. So the idea is this thing's only 3 inches deep. It's almost 12 feet long. And it's only 13 tall. So in order to make this mount plate and make sure it works, because you've got the push throughs here, we're trying to keep it thin, but we got to be able to get to the push throughs and all of that. And then you got these letters mounting over here. So I went ahead and tried this new thing. We haven't done this yet, where the 1/4-inch plates are going to be the corner jigs as one piece. The middle piece will be a 1/4-inch plate, which will be a jig to the back. And then the left side will also be a 1/4-inch plate with a jig. That'll be the back jig. So the way that looks from the side is like here. So you see where you got the green or the purple here. That'll be the corner plate. And then you'll slide this plate in and you'll be welding it right in there. Now, whether you choose to weld this backer plate before you put it in there, or you weld it after it's in there, that'll be kind of up to you. So this is here's what I got here. So you'll have the backer plate in the corner. You jig it in with the 3/16, and then you're just going to weld the dog bones that stick through on this side. You're not going to weld within the inside there because you'll have the posts. Number one, they'll be right in there. Plus, this will allow a little bit of flex and it'll look cleaner. Plus, you're going to be sliding on a piece of skin and lordsing it over like a toaster slot to kind of close up that back area and make it look uniform. So you can see where this blue right here is going to fit within the frame. So what we got going on here is the frame on the back side is going to be the skin. So you'll bend it over, you'll stick the corner piece in there as a jig, you'll burn it, and then once it's all said and done, this will be sticking back 09. So then we'll have to build that up. But then that also becomes the area where the door will sit. So the frame becomes the back skin. So that's what I'm saying is we haven't quite done this yet in this method, but it should work out pretty good. So That being said, I don't know if you probably could just burn these first and then work around, but just keep in mind you'll have these poking out like that. So you'll have that sticking out there. But like I say, you're just going to be burning the dog bones, and don't be welding on the backside. So whether you choose to, probably better access to burn these first before you stick them in. So maybe burn these first. It's the same for the middle, except it's wider. So then what you're going to do is take those plates and you're going to cleco them in and build the frame around those. You'll see on the back here it has the big clecos. You'll go ahead and put the frame together using those as the back piece, and you'll have traditional front pieces here on the front. So that way, you can still get to it. And again, this is longer, so you can burn it on the face. If you can't get the gun in there, you can at least attach it here as best you can. And now, in order to make it contiguous across the back, to give it full structure, and you'll see where this is where the actual doors will mount, is I basically made these big jigs that will then fit in between and butt up against the 1/4 inch. That looks like these. So you'll bend these, and then these also give the support spar that sticks out. So a top view of that is back up here. So you'll see in green, that's that jig there. So theoretically, you'll be able to cleco that jig in along the back, and it will bonk up. I got a little bit of room, but it'll bonk up against the 1/4 inch plate. So you'll cleco in all along the back. You'll cleco all this in, and then that creates a contiguous back jig that solidifies the whole back. And then that also gives you your access doors, and it also gives you where you can mount the doors, and it just gives you that solid rigidity. So you'll go ahead, and that creates a little fillet weld area. So you'll just go ahead and tack where that 09 bends up and goes up against there. You can just tack all along and tack all along there and do the same thing that's typical for all of that. So like the top view of that looks like this. So you'll have that green, and then the purple is the 1/4 inch plate. So you can put a little tack there, and that gives that nice and solid. We're just going to have a straight seam. You can go ahead and just tack right along there. No need to lords anything. And then the front seam will just be a hot plate that you can put across and just burn it as best you can there, and just tack it along there. Just get the gun up in there and try to get it as best you can. I know it'll be tough because the back will be in the way, but maybe you can come in through the back opening, this opening here, and maybe you can get to it there. As far as these guys are concerned, I went ahead and put 3/8 holes all the way along. These are for plug weld because you're not going to be able to weld. So sort of like we do with the front jigs, it's okay if we burn the lip of the frame to the jig because we can grind it smooth, and then we're going to go ahead and put the face on it and it covers it up. On the back side, that opening needs to be kept clean for the doors, the removable panels here, because like I said, this frame here is going to be the skin. So we cannot have welds all along here. So there's really no way to secure this properly because sometimes, like I say, we'll get a little bit of weld hair. So take advantage of these 3/8 holes, and you're just going to go along, and I even have them in the 1/4 inch plates. You're going to plug weld. That's how you're going to hold this lip of the frame to the jig. So weld up along here, all along you can, and then utilize these 3/8 all along to just plug weld. Doesn't need to be fully filled. Just, spill out one good tack on both sides, and just make sure that that lip is now properly attached to the backer here. So you can see where you utilize those holes all the way around, and that's going to nail that frame down really well to the back piece there. And then just go ahead and weld your spars. The top one goes all the way across. The bottom one, I went ahead and chopped it halfway because you're going to be fast forwarding here. You're going to be using pucks. If you've got the GEs in stock, that's great. You're just going to be using pucks along here because it was going to be too thin and you got too much stuff going on over here in order to do a piece of white with LEDs. And this is kind of rough terrain right in here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a wash. So Whether you have the GE product in stock, the 7100, and then you'll use GE fast forwarding, you'll be doing GE over here. Or if you have like Sloan poster box, then just make sure that you're using Sloan Prism 6500 over here if the poster box is 6500. So just try to match your product is all I'm saying is, keep your colors as you do. But I think we might have some of these in stock. But I think this will be the easiest way to do this push through here. So anyway, so I think that explains the frame. Okay, I think you got the idea. Or we're just creating like a super big jig all the way across the back, and then that's going to be how it sort of mounts, and that's where you get all your strength and rigidity comes from that. The face is going to be completely open because it's only going to be 13 inches tall. So you'll just have your jigs here. You'll have your jigs here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to burn in this jig as best you can. I understand it'd be kind of tough to get to, but again, I think you can access it if you come in through the backside. I think you can get to in here, but this is just going to be a seam stabilizer for the face. That's all this is doing. So you'll see right there where the faces have the seam. Well, it's flipped here, it's staggered, but that stabilizes that. So that's why it's there. But essentially the whole front of this is going to be completely open. But like I said, it's only 13 inches tall. No need for crazy struts and braces and stuff. And then that allows you to have full access to the push throughs. So it should be easy assembly there. It's 1/2 inch push through, no big deal. I think you got that. So I think this all makes sense right now. So like I say, it's nothing different than we've done. I mean, we've done these braces, we've done all kinds of stuff. It's just kind of doing it a little different. And then once it's time to kind of put everything together, once you lords the face on this side, then what you're going to do is put these little filler pieces in. You can see the blue here. That's this panel. Like I said, you'll have your frame will come down and then create a step back to the 1/4 inch, and this 090, there'll be a step right there. So that's what this filler piece is. So you're just gonna take this, lords it, utilize the clecos, and you're just gonna squish it down, and that's gonna fill in there. And then this will create a little spot for the door. And when you put the door on, that'll close that up, and it'll be level, and it'll be level there and level there. And then you'll have a middle piece here. Again, that's just going to be lords on. So you'll just utilize the clecos toaster slot and lords that on, and then you'll lords this side on. And then that gives you a spot to put the doors. So what I'm saying here is go ahead on the backside, Bondo everything up, obviously except where this goes, and just pass that on to the prep boys. They can go ahead and seal up all these holes, and they can get rid of these seams in blue, get rid of that seam, get rid of this seam, close all this up, Bondo it all nice, Bondo up all the cleco holes all along the back, and seal it up and make it look good. So theoretically, all you really see is just the 2 doors back there. Speaking of that, so that's where you can access your power. So the one side is power. It's a little shorter. These are not symmetrical. The side that says right is the side that is to the right as you're looking at it. It's a little bit longer than the power side. So keep an eye out for the power side. Make sure it goes on the power side. That gives you access. So you can see the green is where the hole will be. And that gives us access to 2 GEs. So I doubt you're going to need much, but with these pucks, I don't know how hungry these are. And plus skipping ahead, just like we're doing on everything now, we've got the noodle stuff again. So we're doing the noodle LEDs on these letters here. So I'm not sure how hungry those are, but they are 24 volt. So where you see pink is the RGB, just like you did for Desert Fox, I believe. So I gave you a spot for 2 GEs. I spread them out here, even though this isn't going to be UL, because again, the RGB controller kicks us out of UL. But so you have a spot for 2 GE 24s. So that'll run the pucks and the noodle. And you're going to have a little bit of some LEDs right in here for these pushies. So what you're going to do is you're going to bend this tray up. It's a 1-2-2. It's got a little bit of a notch. And then in the corner over here, this is backwards, you're going to take the switch plate thingamajigger and you're going to bend this up 1-2-2. And then it's going to rivet from the inside. You're just going to put it in that corner and rivet it. And then that's going to give... You can see where here, like this side here will be facing the door. this will seal up against the door, and then that's where the switch will live. So if you look at it from the top view, the switch plate will come in from the outside. You can mount the switch up there real nice like we do. Come in, boom, you'll frap it in there, and then it'll live inside this pocket, that switch. And then from there you can wire up, and this is where everything else will live here. I left this open for the RGB LED controller. It can live below the power supplies or power supply, whatever. And I gave you plenty of provisions for bonding. So, and then you're just going to Cleco it in place. And again, I put, this is all kind of no lords, plus it bonds it well. And you're just going to tack it to the bottom of the cabinet. So let's go to the bottom here. There it is. So you'll see there, it'll just Cleco in, and you can just burn it to the bottom. And I gave a 1/2 inch room here. So when you go to screw in the power supplies, make sure you use the shorter screws. That way you don't bottom against the face. Yeah, I think I have it up here. Yeah. So that's where you see you got the plug welds there. So tack it in. That'll take care of power. And then you'll see where it is notched here for that. So that way this will suck up right against the door. So when you go to put the door on, the door will trap and it go right up against the door will go right up against this and create this pocket. That way nothing can come in and live in there, and it seals it off right up against there. So that takes care of your power. According to Jim, the client will bring power. So 120 will be probably coming down one of these legs, and install will just have to drill through and then just get your power over here and make all your connections. So that takes care of power. That takes care of that. So let's talk about the letters, and then the letters are just going to attach to the face. So you can do these separately. We've done these before, but it's been a while. So you're going to have a 090 face. I went ahead and put a 16th over, so that way there's a little bit of play. That's this here. You're going to have a 5/32 inside reference kiss, and then you're just going to do 3/4 inch. You're going to have 050. You're going to have 1.5 inch depth for the letters, and you're going to have 3/4 inch depth for the little inside shoebox lid. So you're just going to, let's just take a look at this here. So this is an exploded view. So you're going to do your 1.5 inch onto the backers, like reverse channel letter style, like we do. Go ahead and attach those. Make them sexy as possible, because you're going to have to slide this in. So make sure you follow the curves. Try to be as true as possible to the letter. Again, I gave you a 16th here. Plus, I did a little extra in here, so there should be enough room. Plus, this is to the edge of the reference kiss. Obviously, if you want to bring this in just a little bit, you've got room to play. So if you're in a little bit, that's fine. But that's all. So just, you got room to play. But you'll know that the reference kiss, if you bonk to the outside of the reference kiss, that'll be your maximum. So anyway, so you just work your way around, tack the shoebox lid together. That's the faces. And then tack this together. Then you're going to slide them in, and then just drill where you can. Just do number 8s or number 10s, whatever you do. But go ahead and just mount the faces to the backers. And then the faces on the eyes will have push-throughs. So this little 1.5 inch cabinet you make will be where you put your LEDs. And then the G's and these parts here will be empty. There's nothing in there other than they're going to be raceways. And you're going to take your noodle, and you saw that, I guess they lay the noodle out for you, and then they put leashes. So you're just going to drill through the face wherever you need to. And then I went ahead and put plenty of power throughs for the noodle thing. So that way, wherever the leash is, you can kind of choose your own adventure and pick one of those holes through. So, but you'll see on the face, there's plenty. This is backwards here, but there's plenty of power holes there. And then there's mounting provisions, 165s for number 10s. And you just line up the backers and frap it on. The faces, like you see, like I said, they'll have the reference kiss on the inside. That's a 5/32 to the inside of that. Make sure Jose does that properly, and just work your way around. And then when you do the push throughs, you're just going to seal up. I think I did a 1/8 inch around. So you'll just do like you do, where you just kind of seal it in and make a big old silicone seal all the way around. What you might consider is maybe doing a little baffle right here, because you're going to do light here, but you don't want to have too many light leaks. Obviously, there's no light leaks in these, but you'll have all this light here. So maybe you might lords in a little piece across that'll kind of block a little bit of light if you want to do that. So just an idea. So, but yeah, you're just going to do these, make these letters as they are, flip them around, and then once everything's painted, you're just going to attach them directly to the face. Just like that. So, and then install is going to go over. They can either use the tap flex or they can shoot bolts all the way through. And I put 1/4 inch in between, kind of what Jim was suggesting. But these should flex enough, and there should be enough play, and you know, one side's going to bonk. So anyway, so I think that should do it. Removable doors, plates, you got that. Just give this a little once over, and if anything doesn't make any sense, hit me up. But I think this should all make sense. Like I say, it's all what we do. It's just we're doing it a little different, as always. So, yep, I think that's about it. So hit me up if you have any questions.